Okay, AMD. We got AMD. Here we go. This is a big one for you guys. I have no position in AMD. I am hoping this thing goes to the moon for everybody here. I really want to see you guys win. I don't care if AMD goes up or down. I care if it goes up for you guys. If it goes down, it is what it is. But I am hoping for a massive pump on this one. We have 30 seconds. We should be getting the results very soon. And let's see. Let's see. I think we're going to get an initial reaction on this one. And then we'll see if it's a head fake or not. But we are going to see if AMD can get up there. Let's see. Put in the chat if you own AMD. Put in the chat if you own. I see so many rocket ship emojis on AMD. All right, so I think like 85% of you guys own AMD. Here we go. It is time. Let's see if we can pump. Should be out any second. I don't have the numbers. I'll be looking at my other screen, but let's see. Let's see where it goes. We're a little green. Up 0.5%. Let me see if AMD's numbers are out. Up almost 1%. AMD, I don't have the numbers. Electronic Arts, by the way, missed on the top and the bottom. Still relatively muted reaction. Google still down 6.5. Snapchat's up 7. Mondelez down 3. Broadcom's up 6. Chipotle's down 3. AMD still flat. All right, we're going to find out soon, dude. We're going to find out soon. I'm refreshing to get the numbers. I don't have them yet, but it should be pretty soon where we will see. It will be pretty soon where we can see. We're green. We are green. We're green 3%. 3% is usually what you need to avoid the head fake. Let's see if it can hold. 3.5. It's going to 4. 4.3. 4.2. Can we get 4.5? 4.5. Now we're at 5%. 125. It is green. It is pumping. It should be a beat on the top and the bottom. Let's see if it can hold that. Don't have the numbers yet. Let me see. I think it stays green, folks. I think, especially with Google spending that much on CapEx already, that's like a positive tailwind in general for the semis. So, we got a beat. We got a beat on the top and a beat on the bottom. 109 of EPS versus 109 expected, so it came in line with expectations. And then revenue 7.65 versus 7.5. There you go. Beat on the top, beat on the bottom. Beat on the top, beat on the bottom. Operating margins, 26%. That's a little bit lower than what the street expected. EPS 109, that's in line, 7.6 versus 7.54. That's a beat. And AMD is really holding on. It's not giving back too much of its strength. 5%, 5.2. It's about to make a new high. I think it's about to make a new high. If it crosses 126, we get a new high. Getting rejected a little bit heavy there, just gave back. Now it's back at 124. Google still down 6%. AMD now up 3% after being up 5%. But look, they have a double beat, which is bullish no matter what happens. That is good regardless at the end of the day. AMD, okay, it's giving back a little bit too much that I would like. I would not like it to give back this much. Still holding 3%. When you get below 3%, that's when you start thinking, all right, what's going on here? But it looks like it can hold. Snapchat's still up 8%, Google down 6%, AMD up 3.6. I think the call is going to be very important for Google. Call is going to be very important for Google, or not just Google, AMD, to kind of determine what the 2025 vision is for guidance. I don't think they give guidance before the call, so I think that's going to be important as well. But that's what we have to see. Where is NVIDIA? NVIDIA's up 1.3, and then Broadcom's up 6. Google right here is down 6%. By the way, Jason just texted me, and he said he's good for Technical Tuesday. He is good for Technical Tuesday. So I am sending him the link, and we should have him on in about 10 minutes. So let me send this to him. Wow. All right. So Google's the loser here, huh? Google's the loser here today. Google's the loser. AMD's still up 4. Chipotle's down 3. Google is down 6. Let's get a little bit more coverage on some of these earnings, and then we'll keep going from there. Let's see if they have AMD numbers. Street doesn't have AMD numbers. They have Snapchat, though. Let's look at Snap, and then we'll get AMD pretty soon.
453 million. That's 2 million ahead of estimates, showing consistent user growth over this past year. Earnings guidance did fall short of expectations. The company saying that its first quarter adjusted EBITDA will be between $40 and $75 million. That's well below the analyst consensus of $78.5 million. company saying first quarter costs will increase around growing their employee base, among other things. First quarter revenue guidance is in a range with the midpoint just above the analyst consensus. You see shares are now up 14% on this news. Back over to you.
All right, Julia Boorstin, thank you. We've got Chipotle earnings out as well, and Courtney Reagan is doing double time here. She has the numbers for us.
Yeah, making me hungry, Morgan. So Chipotle putting up earnings per share. This is a beat at 25 cents adjusted. The street was looking for 24 cents, so 1 penny, but it counts. Chipotle revenues coming in about in line at $2.85 billion. The comparable sales a little light, up 5.4%. The street was looking for those to grow 5.7%. The company does note it was driven by 4% transaction growth. And then the full year comparable sales growth pretty much in line with expectations. Are calling it low to mid single digits, and the street account is looking for an estimate there of 5.4%. Some interesting commentary.
Okay, so Chipotle double miss, Snap double beat, and is AMD down? AMD is red. I'm sorry, guys. I really I don't have a dog in this race. I want everyone to make money on this one. It's not able to uphold it. It's not able to uphold it. Data center miss. Oh, that's not good. You can't miss on data centers, bro. Come on. You cannot miss on data centers. Are you kidding me? Data centers is like everything right now. This is where all the money is being spent. You can't miss on that. That means Jensen's eating some of their lunch. That's my quick naive take on that headline. If data center missed, oh boy, yep. Down 2%. So the street reacted to the frontline numbers, but then they got upset for the data center miss. NVIDIA's giving back some of the gains as well. Broadcom's the real beneficiary, holding 5%. But AMD is going red now. AMD is going red. I can't find the data center. Their website's not loading it. There's probably too many people on it. Let me see if I can get it from somewhere else. AMD data center miss. How bad was the miss? Because if it's a really bad miss, then we've got an issue with the stock. If it's like 20 million and the street's being stupid, then I don't think that's something you worry about. Wow, dude, no, like that. Oh, well, you guys be the judge for me. You guys be the judge. AMD now down 3%. Is this that bad of a miss? Street wanted 4.1. They came in with 3.9. Is this that bad? I mean, I don't think it's that bad, but if there is an AI arms race going on right now, how do you miss on data centers? Right? Like that's not a naive take or anything, right? Like you can't miss on data centers in a world where Trump wants to spend freaking $500 billion and SoftBank wants to put $25 billion into OpenAI. Why? So that OpenAI can get more money to invest in data centers to train more models. Like some of that spend theoretically should be going to NVIDIA, even if all of it doesn't go to NVIDIA. Meta has a great relationship with AMD. Or sorry, some of that spend should be going to AMD, even if all of it doesn't go to AMD. Meta has a great relationship with AMD. So it's like, what are they not being able to execute on that gets them to miss on that metric? They can miss on gaming. They can miss on any of their other metrics, but data center is the one where it's like a little scary to miss on, even if it is a slight miss. At least that's my first impression from that. Client revenue was a beat, 1.94 versus 2.3, but data centers, that's what got you. That's what got you. Where's NVIDIA? NVIDIA is still holding its green. NVIDIA is still positive. Didn't go red after ours. Broadcom still 5%. Google's down 6.5%. Snapchat holding 9%. So great for Snapchat. AMD now down 2%. Chipotle down 3.7%. Enphase is up. Wow, we didn't even look. I mean, we saw the Enphase was a beat on the top and the bottom, but it was only up 2%. Now it's up 8%. So shout out to Enphase. If you hold this one, congrats. If you hold this one, congrats. Rango says if they beat on guidance, then it's just accounting issues. I'm trying to find the AMD guidance. Let me see if I can get some more coverage here. Data centers seems to be the story that the street is upset about. All right, here we go. We got some AMD. Let's see right here.
09, that's stronger than the street anticipated on $7.66 billion for the fourth quarter. In terms of Q4 gross margins, that came in at 54%, so also a little bit higher than what the street was anticipated. For guidance, Q1 coming in at $7.1 billion. Higher gross margins for Q1. They're anticipating it at 54%, which is slightly lower than estimates, but nonetheless still in line with what we saw with Q4. And I'd like to point out that data center revenue came in at $3.9 billion in Q4, so slightly lower than what the street anticipated, but nonetheless shares are jumping about 4%, as the CEO saying in this press release that it was a transformative year. And really the market was quite downbeat going into this earnings report. Shares were down about 33% just over the last year versus the SOX ETF down up 8%. So that could be a result as to why you're seeing the stock up much higher right now.
All right, Christina, thanks. Rohit, want to go back?
Okay, so the CEO said 2025 is a transformative year. Is that a year where transformative sounds very close to transitional? And Alex Chriss kind of said that today on PayPal, that it was a little bit more of a, he didn't use the word transitional, but he basically said this is a year where we're going to focus more on margins versus growth, which basically is telling investors we're not going to grow that much this year, don't expect it. And that's why PayPal was down 11%. AMD now down 3.3%. If guidance on the call is guiding for a year of transformation, you know, and the way they're using transformation is not really bullish, then I don't know, this could get uglier. AMD's margins are 26%, NVIDIA 70%. That is also correct. AMD's margins are significantly worse than NVIDIA's. But still, dude, sentiment on the stock was so bad for the past couple of months. It's not like it has gotten any lift. The only reason NVIDIA got bad with sentiment was because of DeepSeek. It would never have to do with AMD or supply bottlenecks or anything like that, supply chain bottlenecks. It had to do with this random DeepSeek thing that happened that most people, including myself, think is nothing. AMD missing on data center, like if NVIDIA misses on data centers in Q4, NVIDIA is going below 100. Like you can't miss on data centers, not when you're NVIDIA. If you're AMD, you also can't miss on that, but you don't have to grow as much as NVIDIA, but you definitely can miss. And I think that would be my explanation for why the stock's down 3.5%. Rango says the funny part is AMD is selling GPUs for cheap and still can't compete with NVIDIA. Well, wasn't that the other thesis that people had for NVIDIA, which is that it's the winner in the race, right? It's like you don't pick the second best. I mean, that's a thesis I heard by a lot of people that were just choosing to stay out of AMD, which is that, look, we're just going to go with the winner. That wasn't really my thesis. My thesis was just like, I don't know, I feel like I understand NVIDIA a little bit more. Granted, I've never done the due diligence on AMD, so I can't really speak to it, but I guess implicitly in my head as well, my dollars decided to go to NVIDIA over AMD because it was just like, okay, it's NVIDIA versus it's AMD. AMD right here down 3.7%, not getting a recovery. Google down 7%. Google as well, not getting too much of a recovery.